Okay guys, today is the day we're going to start the cb750 rebuild, or rebuild and build for boost. Right now it's just a stock engine, is from what I can see. Got the valve cover loose here so we can pull it off, take a look, see at this camshaft. Let's see if it's stock or not. See if it comes off. Yep, popped right off. Always got to watch out with all them screws, they'll catch on you. They can be fun. So far the rockers are looking good. All have their keeper nuts on them. All seem to be adjusted okay. Looks like a stock camshaft. Looks like a stock head assembly. I don't really see any, yeah, okay, here's the Honda markings right here. Definitely a Honda factory head. Has the factory cam chain tensioner. Ooh, cam chain feels real good too. Feels nice and tight, so probably wasn't any issues there. Let's see if we can get this thing to crank over a little bit and see if we can watch some stuff work up here. Let's pop off that timing cover and crank it over by hand and see what happens here. I think it is missing. Yeah, it's missing most of the goodies in here for the crankshaft. So let's go ahead and pop off the other side too. See what's under this clutch cover. Because really with this engine, I'm just kind of hoping it's complete. I'm hoping it's all here. As long as all the parts are here, we can make everything happen. That's not a problem. Good old Honda parts last forever. It doesn't matter how long they've not run for or sat around or gathered dust. They don't care. Not even a little bit. That's good. Clutch feels good too. Can't wait to pop that case off there and see what's going on here. Imagine it's probably going to be good to go. Almost need to get a tool to pop that off. There we go. Of course, everything over here, it's still Phillips head screws, so we're going to see. There's one. Why you want to move? Grab a different bit here. This one seems to be slipping a little bit. Ooh, yeah, got it. Sweet. Sweet. Oh yeah. Woohoo! Oh yeah. Woohoo! That's all the chain cover bolts. That much came apart, no problem. Gotta love these good impacts. You can hold them tight while you're trying to take the screw out. A couple little whacks of the impact usually gets it done. Then it spins them out real nice too. Oh, as long as the battery's charged. Yeah, it's dead. It's cold out here. Batteries don't like cold either. They like to stay warm just like all of us. Screwdriver to pop her apart here. A little spot right here in the front where you can pop it apart if it wants to go. Yep, it's gonna move. Feels like it's been a while since this thing's ever moved. probably going to pull this gasket apart. You know, I should probably get a pan underneath it too, just because it's probably going to have some oil come out. More than likely. Actually, I should probably scoot it over this way so I can get the drain off of the bench. Oil's always fun, otherwise it'll make a big old mess. There we go. That might go in a drain pan now. That's gonna stay. Everybody's good. I'm not even sure if there's actually oil in this motor or not. We're about to find out. Definitely siliconed on there. That's never good. Yeah, there's some oil and some grass. Looks clean so far though. It's not black and crusty. That's always a good sign. And it's going in the drain pan. Get me a towel here. See if I can keep this gasket somewhat intact here, just in case we want to stick her back together before we get a new one. I think this engine is actually from, this one actually is a 1978. Oh, sweet, it did stay together. Awesome. Definitely some some silicone up in front here. Let you guys come see. This is the chain cover mechanism. Essentially that's the shift mechanism here. Comes down to the shift drum. That's your main shaft bearing there. Pull off this rear cover and we can see the back end here. Let's see if it comes loose. Yeah, look at that. With my dead gun. This one down here is actually loose. I've had it off before. That's where I started just to see if any of this would come loose. Looks like it's gonna. Need to get this battery over here on the charger so I can spin this thing apart. Okay guys, switched over to the drill here. It's got some good power. There we go. Alright, there we go. As you can see, there's the main drive sprocket. That's chain cover. Looks like it still has the factory chain oiler in there too. See the adjustment there in the center? Chain oil comes out around these holes, lubes the chain a little bit. If you want that set up, you can't actually plug that to get rid of it, but if you close it off all the way, it just barely dribbles a little bit of oil on a chain, which that's never a bad thing. I kind of recommend it. That's why they did it from the get-go. Good old Honda. All right, let's pop off this other side cover and see what's going on. I'm going to turn the drill down and let it whack on it. Or not whack on it, but you know, use the impact of just the drill on the low setting. Sometimes it'll get them loose. Let's see. Turn it up here a little bit. Hey, there's one. That one don't want to move yet. Not yet. Might take the impact to bust these off. They've been on here for a long time. Okay, got a little charge on the impact again now. Oh, it popped it right loose. Love this thing. This isn't a great one either. This is just a good old battery impact. Wow, busted it right loose. Yep. Don't got to hit it very hard either. Just let the impact just barely touch them screws. Push in so you're not stripping the head. Pops them right loose. Yep. Awesome. Woohoo. Oh. Bit works so good it fits in the screw once I pull it out. Okie dokie, those are all loose. Let me get something to set these parts on here because they're going to come off oily. Love using these things. They work out great. Soak up all the extra oil and stuff you don't want. And they allow you to set stuff on them and not roll away. Usually if you come in up here at the top, you can kind of get behind this gasket and get a little bit of a pry on it. Yeah, this one's, it's tough. It's been on there for quite some time. In the front here, there's a little relief where you can get an edge on it. Might have to pop it with the hammer here to see if it's going to come loose. Just a little ball peen hammer. Just barely tap it. Yep, as soon as you hear the different noise, it just came loose. Awesome. Oh yeah. I don't think that thing's ever been moved. Yeah, oil coming out looks nice and clean too. Beautiful. So this is the stator cover. This has the whole charging system hooked to it right here. So let's go ahead and unplug the stator. These three main yellow wires are what charges essentially. That's what goes to the stator assembly. The other ones are essentially the turn-on wires for it. Then you also have the neutral wire which goes down there to the bottom. Okay. All looking good. Gasket's hung up down here. Yeah, gasket came apart, but that's okay. We're going to definitely get a new one for that. As you guys can see, looking good in there. A little stain down here. Looks like it's been sitting for, once again, quite some time. Stator looks good though. And over here, flywheel and starter gear are looking perfect. No problem with the ring gear for the starter. Starter assembly up here is looking real good too. Let's see if I can pull out the gear here. Yeah, still rotates good. All teeth are looking perfect. Good old Honda style. Yep, starter right here. Definitely spins, no problem. I bet this thing will crank right up. Obviously it won't start, but starter will spin the engine. See and get this back in here. Just got to slide this pin in the case once you get it lined up here. Oh, that's what it is, not lined up with the starter. There we go. go. Okay, let's crank it over and see what happens. Oh yeah, spins real easy. Probably need to take these plugs out just so we can actually spin it over a bit easier too. Got my 18 right here. And that's good. First one's coming out. Ooh, that one's tight, but it's coming out too. Oh yeah. She was snugged in there pretty good. That's good. That means no water got in. At least hopefully not. This one too is nice and snug. Oh, it's real snug. There it goes. That probably is a good sign though. That lets me know that the threads, at least in the head, are still in good shape. Oh yeah. And of course all this stuff is way cold too. If it was a bit warmer, it always helps. Yeah, all of them are coming out though. I wonder what they look like and how long they've been in here. Probably is one of the most least desirable parts is the fact of the steel spark plug assembly in the aluminum head. It does get a little funky at times. What you guys see here? That one's about ready to pop out. This one's nice and easy to move. There we go. That one's loose. Whereas this one's still a little bit snug. Ooh yeah, old and crusty, but not looking too bad. Oh, and it's a champion. Man, I sure hope them threads are okay. See, oh yeah, this one's a champion, also a A6YD, whatever that is. Huh, wow, okay. Next one. Let's get them all out of there. They got to go, especially being champions. That's not surprising, being that back in the day, when this thing was made, it was hard to find good parts. Especially Japanese parts that were, you know, real parts. Yeah, looks okay. I don't see any thread material or aluminum on the threads so far on any of them, so I think we're good. This one over here is still pretty snugged up in there. See if we can get her loose here. Hey, yeah, there it goes. Sweet, it was just a little bit left. Yep, just looks crusty from being in there for a long time, but I think those threads might be correct. Actually, let's just match one up over here to an NGK. There's an NGK. There's the champion. Get it over here in the light. Yeah, looks good, actually. Yeah, the threads do match up. Yeah, it matches up real good, so. Okay, yeah, so they were the correct plugs. They're just a champion, not an NGK. Heat range is still the same too, so. They might have actually worked okay. Champion was trying to keep these things running back in the day. Luckily, NGK did it best. Okay, let's crank it over here and see what's going on. Ooh, there it goes. Man, that cylinder did not feel good. I heard it stopped, and I heard something sound a bit crunchy over there, like there might be some water or something down in these cylinders. There was just socks stuffed in the intake. He had some kids' socks stuffed in here. So, some plastic bags are always nicer than socks. And socks soak up water, and we know how that goes. Although it's still spinning over good now, though. Spinning over real good, actually. It might have just been that little bit on the top end of that one cylinder was just barely hanging it up. You can see the valve train up here is just working perfect. What I'm looking for now is a Honda number on this camshaft. It should have an R designation on it somewhere. I don't see it yet, so maybe this isn't a Honda cam. It's got that there so far. Yeah, I don't see the Honda markings on it. That's very interesting. As you can see up here, right there we got the HM, so I know it is a Honda cast head. But what else do we have here, guys? These springs and rocker assemblies do look stockish too, but I haven't seen everything, so it's always tough to tell. But those are definitely dual wound springs too. See the spring inside the spring with the big retainer on top? I wonder what this stuff actually is, guys. Oh, yeah. But I did find it right here. See, it has the R2 stamp, so I just didn't see it from another angle. From over here, I could actually see it. So I'm pretty sure that is a Honda camshaft with the R2. So I'm thinking that's kind of weird because I thought they got later numbers as they got older. This engine, I think, it is from a 1978. It could not be. It is an E model. I guess we'll see once we do some more taking apart here. I'm going to pull apart this tensioner over here, get her timed. At least get her at top dead center on number 1. Pull apart the tensioner, let's pull his head off, and let's see what we can get a look at these pistons, see what's going on. Is this right here? Piece of welding rod. Get going down. Yep, they're coming up. Yep, going down. Right there. That's the metal. Piston is just a little bit of float up and down. That's it. Okie dokie. So let's get a 10 millimeter. That one right here, where'd it go? Of course, my 10 millimeter is missing. Go figure. There's one. Oh, it's right there. It was on this ratchet already. Go figure. Bolts are so much easier than those Phillips head screws. Those Phillips heads can be a real pain in the butt sometimes. At least bolts, they usually just come loose. Check on these rusty ones up here and see, yeah, they're even going to come loose there. Good. Okay, now once we split these cases, we'll have to get in there, take a look at stuff. Let's go ahead and pop this tensioner out. This is the cam chain tensioner. Applies tension up here to the back of the cam chain.
Just good. A little more.
There we go. Tensioner looks good, actually. Looks real good. Yep. Looks really nice. Wonderful. Yep, chain looks good. Good, good, good. Alrighty. We'll go ahead and pop these cam holders loose up here, and that will essentially allow us to move everything and pop the camshaft out, pop it off the cam chain, loosen it up here, and then we'll be able to slide the camshaft out, pop the head off. Get this big extension off here. Oh, and actually what I need to do too, since this thing does have overlap, I need to loosen all these valves. Get them off, get any of the rocker arms off the assemblies so that everything can move free when I pop this loose. You don't want anything under tension when you go to loosen the camshafts, otherwise that's not good. Not good at all. So go ahead and loosen all your rocker arms. Locker arm adjuster lock nuts on top. We'll get a screwdriver here and we'll back these off. See how we had tension on that? Now since I backed that off, we got no tension. It won't push down on the camshaft when I try and loosen it. On these it's not a problem, but some bigger straight six engines, 2Js, RBs, especially 2Js, they like to break camshafts when you go to torque them down because there's a little bit of pressure from stuff. If you don't torque them in the exact sequence, you'll hear the horrible sound. It goes kaput! And that camshaft goes in the trash. Be careful. Careful is always best. Since we just loosen it until you get some play. That one was in there pretty good. And as we take it apart, we'll rotate it to get everything loosened up.
Just groove. A little more. Just groove. Just groove. Just groove. Just groove. It's just groove. Yeah.
And actually what we need to do is get us another towel set up here so we can properly organize things, because I like to put it back together the way it came apart. Slide this one down. We'll get us another one here. There we go. Set that right there for right now. Okie dokie, now we can just start taking all these nuts and bolts apart. Pop off the followers now, or the cam holders essentially. Slide these up one at a time, and they go on the bench here with the screw in the correct position they came off of, so that I know exactly how they go back together. Especially if this engine has been 20,000 miles happily. We want to leave it that way. We just want to put it back together how it was happy with whatever else that we do to it, and hopefully everything will stay happy. Looking good, looking real good. see here, you slide out the rocker pivot shaft, then the rockers come out. Once again, slide them back on where they belong. Every little bit helps. I don't see that washer. It's in there somewhere. It's not up here. Don't see it laying down there anywhere. Okay, let's go ahead and rotate this a little bit and get the pressure off of this one. There we go. Happy spot right in the middle where there's not tension on either one. And the pivot shaft slides right out. There we go. Still don't see that washer. It's in there somewhere. I know it is. Alright. Got a little bit of tension here on this one. I think we can dial back here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Looking good there. Let's go ahead and run this side apart too. Yeah, good old factory crack on all the bolts. I'm pretty sure that was all done by Honda. I don't think anybody's touched this thing yet. Awesome news. I love them best that way, really. Don't drop the washer yet again. Alright, get my finger on that one. Hopefully this other one's over here. Otherwise, somebody may not put it back in. We'll see. Okay. That's good. And essentially now you guys can see. Push these rocker shafts out. See how they slide straight out? Yep. Slide straight out like butter. Good old Honda engineering. It's amazing how beautiful this stuff works in concert with each other. It's the most beautiful concert ever. As you can see, there's a slot cut right there in the end. That slot points straight up and down so the bolt can go in and hold these in place. So they won't slide around when you're pulling a bunch of boost and spinning 9,000 RPM. Don't want things moving around. There we go. That all goes down here. Okay. Camshaft is now free. We can pop off the bolts up here, pop off the sprocket, and then slide the camshaft out. Here we go. Need to get a good 10mm wrench. Over here and pop these loose. They're usually torqued on there pretty good because these two bolts hold everything. So taking it apart and putting it back together, these two bolts are crucial. Very crucial. These go right here in the middle. Crucial. Do not lose that bolt. It is a special little shouldered bolt that is a hardened camshaft bolt. Very particular, very crucial. Don't lose them. Tighten them, torque them. Make sure they're correct. Now we got to spin it over so we can get the other one up here. And now it doesn't move it doesn't matter if we spin it over because the valves are not going to move. They're not going to touch pistons. Everything will be a little bit out of time, but that's okay because we're taking it apart. But actually, I could have looked over here. You see the slot cut in the end of the camshaft? If you line this up, actually I think it's right there with the notch up and the two lines going across, that is top dead center for number 1. That's how you tell. That's one way you can tell. Okay, that one was torqued down too. That's always a good sign. Bolt is out. Okay. Cam gear popped right off, no problem. Get the chain off of here. Usually a little bit of a challenge. You got to hold your tongue right, not swear. Just talk sweet little nothings to it. Whatever you got to do. And it comes off. There's little notches cut in the cam gear. You got to kind of slide it around, get it down on one of those notches, and it'll come out. And then now you have to take it off with the cam chain and the gear in place. And what I like to do, show you guys here, leave that in place for 1 second. You see everything's loose. Give me a nice zip tie here. And with the zip tie, I can zip tie it to the chain. And it's not if, it's when. When I drop that chain, I can pick it back up with the zip tie. It makes it super easy. Good old zip ties, can't beat them. So as you see, it's coming apart together. When you have to reassemble it, you got to make sure not to install your gear first. The gear has to come off with the chain and the camshaft all at once. Then when you get it back together, you just get it lined up and all is good. Camshaft. R2. So that definitely is a Honda cam. Yep, sure looks like it. It's got the big lumpy top end. You see how the valve reliefs, they're not round. They open wide and they slam shut. Honda 750 style. Good old stuff. Set this down here. Organize my goodies here so I know where everybody goes. Put my cam gear down here. And as you can see, there's a stain on the cam gear. So I know which way that faces against the cam. That side faces the cam. This side goes that way. You can see the bolt retaining marks and the stain from the cam gear. So that needs to go back in the same way too. Note that. Noted. Okay. That tensioner is looking real good down here too. I can see all that now. Wow, this head looks so good, guys. So good. The camshaft looks great. The head looks great. Oh yeah. We all want something here. So we can stick that in there. Or we're usually just trying to find a hole here somewhere for it to stick into. That's good. Take all these bolts loose now. We can pop this head off. Way more to come. Got to take these rocker boxes off. Essentially, they should come off now. There's some plugs underneath these rocker boxes. You got to pop those plugs out because there's bolts in the center of these cylinder heads too. If you don't get those bolts out, it ain't coming off. There we go. There's one. Oh yeah. Shit coming apart. Yeah, see the plugs came out on this one. Bolts are down in here. Plugs got to come out. So I recommend replacing those too when you assemble it. Or at least make sure that they're sealed with the head. Otherwise you can leak pressurized oil. I'll show you here in a second. The oil pressurized ports are right here. That's what filled these cam holders with oil pressure. You don't want to leak. You're going to have full oil pressure right here going into those cam journal holders. So make sure it's all good. Just this one stayed in here, just need to pop it out. Usually if you push down, they'll pull away from the side. And yeah, there we go. You can get something underneath them. And pop them out. That one goes over here. Alrighty. Awesome, guys. We are looking real good at this point. Now we just got to take off some goodies up here. Ooh, here we go. Hopefully shouldn't have to pry on this too much. I've had issues with them in the past, really, because they get locked in with the dowels that come up, the centering dowels, or the dowels to hold them the head in place. They can get stuck on those. And let's see. That's the one I forgot back here. There we go. Dirty. Little dirty bird almost had me. Oh, the crack. Yes. Oh, yeah. She's free. Okay, here we go, guys. The big reveal. Hopefully, to not much avail. Hoping to see some good old stock parts that aren't torn up or melted. Of course, it's still good and stuck. There we go. There she goes. There it comes. All right. Pop the zip tie out down here so I can hold on to that. And there we go. Yeah, of course, head gasket's all torn and holding me up. But look at that, guys. We got us a CB cylinder head. It all looks pretty good. A little bit of rust on that one cylinder there. That can all totally be cleaned up. Yeah, this is all stock valve, stock everything. Wow, beautiful. Just the way I wanted to see it, really. Awesome. That is good news, guys. Good news. Let's see what's up with this head gasket. It's not looking too bad, just looking old and torn. Oh yeah, there's our crusty cylinder. Definitely got some junk in there. There it goes. Alright, old head gasket's coming loose now. I'm gonna get in there and pry it off nice and slow so you don't mess up the surface underneath it. Got to keep that aluminum nice and happy. These sleeves are looking really good too. Yeah, just a little bit of rust on the very top of that one sleeve, but not too bad. Not bad, way better than some I've seen in the past. That have been sitting, obviously. This engine was sitting for some time. Not really sure how long, but it's gonna come back. Ain't no doubt about it. Looking good. You know what, let's go ahead and crank her over here. Let's see if we can wipe that dust out of it and not get it all over our engine parts here. Try and keep things somewhat sanitary over here. Make sure my cam chain doesn't hang things up here. There we go. Okay, there we go. Let you guys see here. A little bit of rust there. A little bit of crust. Cylinders look okay though. I don't see any major scratching. Get this wiped off here and we'll see. Try and do this as sanitary as possible, because we are building an engine that's got to stay clean. These old ones that come in dirty, they can really challenge you. But actually it's all wiping right off with my finger even, so it's not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, not even. Once again, I've seen way worse. I think we should just go ahead and cover that stuff up, actually. That'd probably be our best bet, since I got another mat right here. Let's just go ahead and do that. There we go. Alrighty. Looking good. Let me get this one spun around here. Clean off that last one. Okay. Yep, those are definitely factory pistons, factory sleeves. They look so tiny compared to that engine that's almost a 900. These look like little babies. Little babies that are about to have a fun life. Okay. Now that we got that loose, we can pop the cylinder off. See what's going on in there. But from what I'm seeing out here, it looks like everything's going to be good. Everything's going to be great, actually. Just a guess, but I'm thinking we are good to go, guys. Yep, cylinder's moving. One more part to pop loose, and it's really holding on there. Oh, there it goes. Yes. I think that was it. Oh, it's moving now. Yes. All right. There we go. Now we can make some progress. Make sure it's all even here before we try and slide it. We got to slide it off all 4 pistons at the same time. Okay, yep, the cam chain did come out, or the tensioner did come loose. We're good to go there. Didn't break in half. That's always a bonus. They're holding on for dear life. Here's where you just got to have everything square. There we go. And everybody should slide apart. And this thing is tight. Real tight. So I tap this side up just to get it square. There we go. There it goes. Yes. Yes. I think that bait gasket was really fighting me. Once again, cylinders look great. Nice and shiny. No funny biz. All of our dowels and O-rings are still good. Looking great, guys. Looking real great. All right. Yep, pistons and rods are looking perfect. Man, almost could have just cleaned this thing up and ran it. But I'm going to swap this stuff May bore it out a bit. Put some new sleeves in it. Definitely going to put some different pistons. Bigger rods. Open these ring gaps up a bunch. Because they're nice and tight. Going to open them up for boost. We're looking real good here, guys, once again. Looking wonderful. Kept our dirt off of that stuff. Looking good. We'll cover that up. This is all going to get worked on. I'm going to port the heck out of this head. Because with the boost and a big port, man, this thing, it's going to rev up like no tomorrow. Alright, there's our first part of the build, guys. Go ahead and get this case popped apart here next. We'll get the clutch off it. Get all the goodies off over there. Get the case split in half. We're going to take a look at that transmission. Make sure it's good to go for a bunch of boost. I plan on launching this thing with the front wheel up. About 15 pounds of boost, if we can get there. We'll see. Whole lot of fun for the future right here. I can't wait, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. The rest of this build is yet to come. It's going to be good. We're going to go real fast with a big old turbo. Thanks, guys.
Go, don't stop. We against the clock. Go, don't stop. We against the clock. Head held high to the north. Run up on me, you can get squished. Big dogs jumping on the porch. Clock ticking, leave it on the field, on the court. Do this for fun and for sport. Team going long and you coming up short. Crossed up, make them touch the source. Ain't no turnovers, we hitting on fourth. Don't play with it, 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 don't.